Hello students, good morning. Today I am starting a new topic in our CBCS course that is related to probability. So what is probability and its properties? So far we have learned about data, statistical data and measures of central tendency, measures of dispersion, and we will learn more on that subject. So there is measures of skewness and kurtosis. So that journey will continue, but this course has two parts. One is the statistics, that is the data handling, and the other part is the mathematics of probability, because you cannot do any statistical analysis without probability. Here I am going to introduce some basic definitions and concepts of probability. Before I go on telling you the definition, I'm sure you all must have heard probability or the word chance, which is used as a proxy for probability in our day-to-day life. We all talk about chance of success, chance of failure, right? But let me ask you this: what does chance mean? When I say that I have a 50% chance of success, what is that supposed to mean? Because I will be either successful, I am going for some business, right? So I have, if you say that there is 50% chance of success or 70% chance of success, because either I will be successful or I will not be successful. There is only two possible outcomes. So if you toss a coin, it will be either a head or a tail. So why do we say that if I have a fair coin, it is a 50% chance? So why do people say that if there is going to be a cricket match between two teams, why do people say the chance of one team is winning the game is say 70%? Well, at the end of the game, there will be either one side will win, no. So either it will be where is this chance coming from? And the second thing is that what does it supposed to mean? So, before you understand this concept of chance, I will ask you that what does price of anything mean? So, when I say, suppose a potato is 50 rupees a kg, what does that price signify? So, in any commodity or anything, or suppose I am buying a laptop, then it is 75,000. Why? How do we arrive at such a price, and what does it mean? So, you see, when it comes to price, it is easier to understand that there is something called intrinsic value. That means, when I go for buying for a kg of potato, so that price reflects what? One is one of the basic ingredients in this price is the cost of production. So the farmer who is growing the potato, he has to make a living. So he sets a price to the mandiwala or to the purchaser who purchases at a bulk, keeping a margin for him. So therefore, there is a price for cost of production. Then that mandiwala keeps a profit from that, and then he sells to the retail people. So there is cost of transportation. There is the share of the mandiwala. Then it comes comes to the retailer. Then retailer also has to make a profit. So his share of profit also comes there. And then it comes something called bargaining. That is, if the supply is less, demand is more, then there will be more buyers. So the seller can expect to get a higher price, because there will be more buyers. So when it is a basic economy, that whenever there is more demand, less supply, the price settles at a higher level, and other way around. So when you have more production, less buyer, the prices crash. So you see, in one simple price of a potato, there are so many components, and there is one component finally which is determined by the demand and supply. So this one number, 50 rupees a kg, or 30 rupees kg, whatever, I don't know what is the price right now. So that is composed of so many things. So price actually reflects many things. Now there are certain similarly in the case of laptop, it will depend upon the configuration of the laptop, right? But apart from the configuration of the laptop, there is also one more value, that is the brand value. So the price with similar configuration also varies from one brand to another. So hardware, software configuration, and the brand value. So you say you also pay for something called the brand, right? So that is not an intrinsic value, that is a feel good factor or your fascination for a certain brand. Similarly, if you think of auction, so you must have heard that paintings get auctions at millions of dollars. So why does it happen? So there is very little cost of production, it is its artistic value, and so it is its what the experts of arts consider as a masterpiece. So that is their subjective interpretation, right? So the interpretation of probability is similar to that last thing. So when you say that I have 50% chance of success, or you think that you have 50% chance of success, that means you are not confident whether you would be success or not. So you are thinking that it will be just like tossing of a coin, so anything can happen, and you will only know after the result. But when you assign higher chances, suppose there is a cricket match between team A and team B, you say that team A has 70% chance of success. So it is believed that now if you are an expert on cricket, then it will mean that you have studied the compositions of the two teams and the skill levels of the player and the conditions. Considering everything, you are giving weightage. So your assessment or your probability or your assessment of chance will be composed of your expertise or your understanding about the subject at hand. And of course there is an element of uncertainty, because no one can know 100% before the match is so you cannot say 100% chance of winning. So now okay, I'll come to that. So in this way, so probability is expressed as either as a fraction, or in our common day-to-day language we talk about chances, percentages, that is also fine. So so 50% chance, 70% chance, so interpreted in that way. So if I am saying that tomorrow it will rain 70% chance, so it would rationally mean that I have considered all the factors, like whether it is summer or winter, what has been the last few days pattern. So after taking into consideration everything, I am making an educated guess, and of course since this is a guess, so I cannot be 100%. So rationally, probability should represent someone's educated guess, okay, or a well-informed guess based on available information at hand. So that is the interpretation number one. So this has nothing to do with the mathematics, but the interpretation part is the most important, and most of the time people have no clue what they are talking. So suppose someone says that I have 0% chance of succeeding, okay, in business, but then I go on and become a very successful business person. So why does it happen? First of all, because number one, whenever he assigned me 0% success, it is his understanding on his impression about me. No one knows me for sure, right? Only I know what I am. And I can improve with time, or I can change with time, no? So that is also someone may or may not take into consideration. So when I say that an event has 0% chance of occurrence, that is according to my understanding, and it will be assumed that I am considering all the possible factors at that point of time and saying that the event may not occur. But again, it will be assumed that whenever you make a statement like a 0% chance or 100% chance, that you have commandable authority on the subject, and you have considered all the factors at that point of time. Now if the factors change, then your assessment of probability has to also to change, otherwise it has no meaning. So you see, probability interpretation, probability reflects only the assessment of chance of an event before it occurs. Okay, so even if you say 0% or 100%, it does not mean that there is for sure it will not occur or occur, because occurring or not occurring, you can only look at the different factors and make an educated guess. There are many factors that are beyond our control, and when we make the guess and by the time the event occurs, some underlying factors may change also. So this is about a brief lecture on what is probability. Okay, it is like a price. It reflects or it should reflect on all the information available at that point of time before making a prediction or before making an assessment. So it represents an it should represent an well educated guess. But now sometimes it so happens that the guesses are not so well educated. Someone does not like me and he says that, oh, he is not a good person, so he has 0%, he is lazy, so he has 0% success of being successful in business. But then that is not a very educated guess. It is biased by someone's negative perception about me. So probability assessments can be very wrong also. And let me tell you, there is no unique formula for computing probability. So that is something we will see here. So let me start. So today I will have very less time in this video. So first thing is random experiment. For example, toss of a coin or roll of a dice, two coin toss, etc. Here what is common? That if these experiments have more than one possible outcome. One toss can result in either head and tail. Roll of a dice you can get one of the numbers 1 to 6 on the upturned faces. Two coin toss, I leave it as an exercise for you. I am sure you must be able to know how many outcomes are there, and so on and so forth. So these experiments have multiple possible outcomes. Now the number of possible outcomes may not even be finite. For example, the example that I have marked with red, so I want you to introspect that this does not have finitely many possible outcomes. It has infinitely many possible outcomes. So random experiment is an experiment which has got more than one possible outcome. Second, the set of all possible outcomes should be known. And third, the experiment can be repeated under identical condition. So these features, if it has, then it called a random experiment. Now the set of all possible outcomes we call the sample space S. Any subset of S we call an event. And what we do, probability is a function that assigns numbers between non-negative numbers to any event A. Then this is for mathematical details. You may okay, let me tell you. So the collection of all subsets of S we denote it by this symbol. You can call it F. So you can say, sir, we can take this simply to be the power set, no? So as I said, so yes, you can take the power set, but then there are some problems. So when the sample space have got infinitely many possible outcomes, then there may be problems. So those are some advanced details. So as of now, you may just think this is to be the power set. There is no harm. So now what we do is that go straight to the definition of probability for this course. So I will define probability. So you just don't worry about these terms like measurable space. So probability on this collection, where S is the sample space and this collection is the set of subsets of S. So you can think of it as the power set. Is said to be a probability measure is a function satisfying number one, P of A is non-negative, P of S is 1, that is probability of the whole set is 1. You cannot assign probability more than 1. And third is that if I have a sequence of disjoint sets, so I have got infinitely many subsets of S which are disjoint, then probability of the union is the probability of the sum. Now A is very easy to understand, that you cannot say that probability is negative, and the probability of the whole set, that is the set of all possible outcomes, will not have probability more than 1, or chance cannot be more than 100%. Now the last part is a bit tricky. Here I am saying sequence. That means in mathematics there is a concept of countably in many. Countably means infinite, but as many as there are natural numbers. There is another concept of infinite collection that is called uncountable. For example, if you consider all points between 0 and 1, that is an uncountable collection. Or how many real numbers are there? Uncountable. But how many natural numbers are there? That is countable. So if you consider countably many sets which are disjoint, that is they have nothing in common, then probability of the union is the sum of their probability. So these are the three properties that are used to define the probability function.